Hello, this is Cobweb, and today I would like to show you how to braid a lucette. Now you need a couple of things. First you need fingers, secondly you need cord or wool or whatever, something to lucette with, and I'm going to use a homemade plastic lucette made from a biscuit lid. This is plastic, easy to cut and melts when you put fire to it, so that's the main thing. Your basic shape of lucette is a V shape. This one, like I said, has been made out of a bit of plastic. The best ones are made out of wood or bone or whatever you want to make them out of. They need to be a V shape, they need to be smooth, and you need some way of being able to manipulate the cord once it's on there. So for very thin, the thickness determines on what you're going to use. If you use a very thick, wide lucette, you'll be using your fingers, because you can get your fingers into the bits and being able to move the wool or cord or whatever over top. But because I'm using a very thin lucette today, I have made myself a needle, and all it is a piece of plastic that's been melted at the end. It was a triangle, melted it at the end, and like this. It needs retouching anyway. You melt it, don't let it go on fire. Once it's sort of calmed down a bit, pinch and twist, and you get a hook. Okay, it just needs to be a very slight hook, just so it can slide underneath the wool. Okay, so this is my tool kit for today. I've got my piece of wool. I'm going to drag out, I don't know, about a meter's worth. Don't cut it. The best thing about this technique is that you don't need to cut the wool, and you can make a cord as long as you've got a ball of wool. Okay, select your lucette, and you take your cord, place it on the lucette like so, and pinch down hard with your thumb. Take it around the back of the left, around the back of the right, around the back of the left, and over the right. Do that again. So back, 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 over. So you've got a weird kind of in-out thing going. And just twist it round my little finger to get some tension. Take my needle and make sure the loose cord is at the top of the tine, and then take this bottom loop, drag it up and over. It might be quite stiff. You've got to keep quite a lot of tension on this. So I'm twisting the lucette, so I'm twisting it away and still pinching this back bit, back loose end, under, down. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. That's got to get back through there. Okay, making sure this is at the top, the bottom over top, and twisting the same way all the time. Bottom over top. Yeah, sometimes you lose stitching, and that can be annoying. Bottom over top. And when you do this stitch, give the bottom loop quite a good tug, and when you put it over, give the loose end a tug. Okay, you've got to keep this work pretty tight. Now we've done about 4 or 5 stitches. You can let this loose end run free if you want to. Personally, I like to keep pinching and pulling down on it, so I'm making sure every stitch I make is at the top of the row rather than kind of attaching itself halfway down. So this is quite a tensioned piece of work. If you do crochet or knitting, you know that tension's important. Tension's very important with lucette. You want to keep it as tight as possible. The tighter you are with it, the better the braid. Obviously you don't want to go too tight because you'll snap your wool. So any gentleman thinking about doing this, you don't really want to go too tight, because I know you've got good strength. Men have, it's not fair. You don't want to sort of pull so tight that you break your lucette or your cord. So just a nice, tug. Tug is good. If you find you're breaking the lucette or your cord, you're pulling too tight, obviously. So as I've been speaking, I've got about 1/4 inch. It does take a while to do, But if you just sit down one night and you're sort of snuggled up on the sofa with someone and just watching a bit of telly, you can just do this really calmly, very quietly. Once you've got the hang of it, you don't really need to see what you're doing. Especially if you've got a thicker Lucet, because you can feel with your fingers then, rather than having to use a needle. And I am looking for the perfect stick. It's got to be a proper V formation, because most sticks come down. They sort of come down and then come off at an angle. And what I need is a stick that comes and splits in the middle, basically. And I could carve one, but, you know, it's all about making life easy, isn't it? So I'll keep an eye out for one of them. So yeah, just keep going, making sure you twist the Lucet rather than the cord. Okay. And you can buy these. So I think they're about 30 quid. They're made out of beech, I think, or oak or something. And you get bobbins and various bits and pieces, but I've never felt the need to buy one, to be honest. These are quite old as well. The art of lusetting, they found Lucet braid from the Viking era, and they found Lucets are the actual V-shaped thing. They found them made out of bone, out of wood. I'm not sure if they've been made out of metal or not. I'm not sure. I'm not a great historian or anything. It's just remembered what I've read. And apparently they were invented by the Vikings, and then after a while they went out of fashion, and then the Victorian ones turned up. They are a form of French knitting, apparently. You know, the French knitting with the what's it called? Cotton reel. And you've got the cotton reel, and you've got 4 nails in the cotton reel, and you sort of just go around flicking over and over and over. This is a form of French knitting. I think French knitting, you get a circular braid. This one's a square. If it's not a square, then you do something wrong. It's a very sort of compact square braid. No, so yeah, they were apparently invented by the not the Romans, the Vikings, and they were used as strong cord. You know, you can buy the sort of cord nowadays, like light pulls, and you've got cord ties your trousers together and various whatnots. And this basically was how they made that. They didn't just twist string together to make rope. They made smaller strands and then did this to get the cord, which I think is fantastic. I mean, when you do it, I'm sorry, that's a cockatiel trying to stretch a wing. When you do it, you can see it's a really, really strong cord, and it would take a lot of strain. I mean, you're basically overlapping 4 strings and braiding them into quite a tight braid. See, we got 8 minutes, and I've done 1 inch and a bit. If I wasn't using the needle, I'd be a lot faster. If I had a thicker Lucet, I'd be a lot faster. I've only been doing this about a year now. So yeah. Plus the ones I've seen on the line have a handle, and they come down and they have a handle. If you just type in Lucet, that's Lucet, it should come up with a site. Apparently it was an English bloke who sorted it out. Made this new one, which is quite fun. And he's designed bobbins, and he's designed ones that interlock with each other, and he's a way of adding an extra piece of string to put beads and things in, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of inches there. It's slightly stretchy, so it makes a really good drawstring cord. I've made these for shoelaces, and they hold up so well. I just want to quickly show you before I run out of time, which I am doing, is how to end one. So what you do is you just cut this cord here, and you undo the final stitch. Sorry, it's probably out of focus. Undo this stitch and pull that tight. Can you see how it's looping over itself? Oh no, why isn't this working? Oh, there we go. Could give it quite a pull, and then slide the other one off. Make yourself a bit of a bigger loop. There we go. And then this end goes through there, and give that a pull. And you've got yourself a very strong cord. And the best thing about this cord, I shall move them. You can cut it in half, and it doesn't come undone.